All right, honey, let's play a quick game before we start the podcast.
All right, sounds good. Let's do it.
It's to finish the last word of a movie title game.
Oh, no. I suck at those.
No, you'll do it fine.
All right, I'll try.
Okay. And The Empire Strikes
Back.
Yeah.
I did it.
See?
Okay, how about Gone with the...
Wind.
You see, you're good at that.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. An Officer and a...
Gentleman. That's a good movie.
Yeah, you got it.
I like it. How about Ghost?
No, it's just the movie title.
No, baby.
Yeah.
Who you going to call?
Oh, yeah. Busters.
Yes, you got it.
Yeah. All right, last one. Okay?
Okay.
My Cousin.
My cousin. My cousin.
Yeah.
Now, I know it's a name, and it's not a very popular name. My cousin. I'm like, you hardly ever hear it. Can I phone a friend?
No, you can't phone a friend.
Oh, gosh, I need some help here.
It rhymes with a very popular Disney character's name.
It does?
Yeah.
Disney character.
Yeah.
Gosh, help me out here. My cousin. Oh.
Oh, you got it, didn't you?
I do. Vinnie!
Listener, welcome to the Riveted.
With Chris and Gina. You didn't think I was going to get it, did you?
You got it, baby.
I got it, baby.
Listener, welcome. Yes, awesome episode today in store for you.
It's going to be over the top exciting.
Absolutely. But we're not going to tell you who it is yet.
No. You don't think they know already?
No, because right now, right out of the gate, we want to give special thanks to our episode sponsor, our good friends from No Locks Modifications and Solutions.
Kevin and Deborah. Yeah.
Awesome full-time Airstreamers. Got an amazing business. They specialize in door service, door repair, all these amazing, cool modifications and unique add-ons.
That's what's so great about them, too, is because they are full-time Airstreamers, they are living the experience, right?
Absolutely.
And so they know what needs to be worked on and stuff with your doors.
You don't want to be a slammer.
No, don't be a slammer.
Don't be a slammer.
No, we want to pinky shut the door.
We were slammers, and we didn't like it, and so we had their door service done. They did an amazing job. We bought their cool pain pins to help get the sticky windows open. I love those pain pins. Yeah, I got little purple knobs on mine. I love them. We got their step brace. Everything they do is top quality material, great attention to detail,
and that premium lubricant that they have, spot on, man.
Good
it
stuff.
Works wonders.
You put it in all the nice little spots that needs to go, and everything is nice and lubricated. Yeah, it's great.
I like that. Say that again.
You've got to go check out nolocks.shop. How do you spell it, Gina?
NOLOX.shop.
That's
nolocks.shop.
They have a beautiful website. You can get all of their parts and accessories right there. They even have just general parts that you might need for your Airstream that don't have anything to do with doors. But they got lots of things, and they ship fast. They work right out of their Airstream 28-foot International. They travel all over the country.
They do. They put their schedule on their website.
No, they don't. They put their schedule on their website.
Schedule. You say that so well. Deborah would be proud of you. Yes, they do. And listener, what that means for you is that if you need something done with your door, you can check out their schedule, see where they are, and if they're somewhere close by, you can make an appointment and go up there and see them, and they'll work on your door right then.
One of the next places you're going to see them, obviously, is in Minot, North Dakota at the International Airstream Rally.
This August.
Yes. And what we highly encourage you to do, if you need your door worked on at International, is you got to go to their booth the very first day of the vendor.
That would be Sunday.
Day.
Yes, Sunday.
And go to them and say, hey, I need my door worked on. Can I please get on your schedule?
I don't think they should say that.
They shouldn't? What should
I
they
think
say?
they should walk up there and say, I don't want to be a slammer anymore.
Yes, and then they say, I heard about needing to be here at this booth on the Riveted with Chris and Gina,
Yep.
and I really would love to get on your schedule, please.
I love that.
And then they'll say whether they can or not.
Well, let's hope they can.
And as awesome as they are, most likely they will.
I think so. They'll do
just-
their very, very best.
So we thank, and listener, I hope you thank Kevin and Deborah with No Locks for sponsoring this episode, and I hope you enjoy it. Big message today, so let's dive right in and get to it.
Here we go.
This guy has been on our radar for a while, Gina.
A long time.
Since the beginning.
He really has. I'm very excited about it today. And listener, let me tell you that our guests today are bringing a lot of passion and some pretty big ideas to the Airstream world right now.
Absolutely. We're honored. We're excited to
Very
have.
much so.
Yes. But I'm nervous. This big.
Are you? Are you shaking in your boots, babe?
Big stuff. This guy's a legend in the Airstream community.
Yes, he is.
You know
You're
what I'm
right.
saying? And he's got his great friend and supporter along with him.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are so honored to have on the Rivet with Chris and Gina, Mr.
Wait. I feel like we should have like a drum roll right here.
A drum roll?
Yeah, like
I don't have a drum roll.
You don't have a drum roll?
No.
Oh, we're talking about this big guest today, and you don't have a drum roll?
This is as close as I've got.
No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work.
That doesn't apply to this
All right,
guy.
just go back to the introduction, Chris.
Okay, I've had this big buildup, and then now you got me off track.
Oh, no, you can do it again.
Okay, we can do it this time.
Do it.
We are honored to have Vinnie Lamica and Clare Purinton on the Riveted with Chris and Gina. Welcome, you guys.
Yay, welcome.
Thank you, you guys. The honor is ours.
Oh, we are so excited about today. Chris and I have been wearing a big grin.
Clare, welcome back. You just visited us like yesterday or something. Or no, it was last week.
Yeah. Thankfully, this is a completely different topic.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
we super awesome to have you guys, and thanks for putting this together, Clare, and just making it happen. We Vinnie, again, like I said, when we created our podcast, your name was on the short list of guests we hope to have one day. So
And today's the day.
today is the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Gina, I'm nervous.
I can tell.
Golly.
I can tell you keep looking at me like, oh, I don't know what to say next. I'm just so excited.
Vinnie, everybody knows you just by first name basis.
Yes.
How does that feel?
Oh, well, it's overwhelming. What a great community we have within all these Airstreamers. It's it started with small repairs and building relationships, and these people have often become our friends.
Mm-hmm.
We camp with them. We meet them when they're in crisis and try to resolve their issues and have drinks with them at happy hour. And
Yeah.
we're all so blessed to be part of this community, aren't we?
You know,
Absolutely.
I never really thought about it that way, Vinny, but that's a good point there that you're saying is that the people that we meet, like when we're out on the road traveling and stuff, we're meeting them around campfires and everybody's having, like a cocktail, or we're singing, we're having great conversation
Rallies.
at rallies or wherever. Yeah. But when you meet people, you are meeting them lots of times when they are in crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And I had never thought about that.
Yeah.
So it brings just a whole new level to Airstreaming and the fact that, Vinny's voice can be heard around the Airstream world.
Well, it's like I've said this to others, is that you can be sitting around that campfire and it doesn't matter what the conversation is, but if anybody says, well, they do it this way at Vinny's, or Vinny said this, or I saw Vinny's video about that, everybody's like, oh, yeah, uh-huh. And they
Right.
immediately
Yeah.
know that it's accurate information and honest and reliable and quality. Vinny, you're like E.F. Hutton. When you speak, people listen.
Thank you for that kind introduction. we sure try hard. It's not without its hiccups, but
Well,
that's the RV world. So
that's
Right.
right. Well, you've done well over the years. Huge awesome reputation, and everybody knows you and loves you. And what we are having you and Claire on for today is a different subject, but it's the newest, freshest idea coming from you to share with the Airstream world, and we're excited to hear all about it. The Rivet Collective, and just do a deep dive on why the Rivet Collective is going to be such a great asset to the Airstream community. So start off, tell us what's going on, what you got on your mind, what's coming next.
Yeah, thank you. As you guys may know, and of course our listeners have discovered that I've sold both of the locations, our location in Midway, Florida, and our Sacramento location, to essentially two of my employees that have really risen up and grabbed this thing by the reins. And it's so exciting for me because, I'm yesterday's news, right?
Yeah, right.
These guys are the future, and they're bringing new, fresh ideas, ways to do these things that I hadn't thought about. Certainly with technology and the interface with the customer and tools that they can use to make the job easier for the whole team. Whereas I started as a one man shop and writing things in my little notebook and ordering parts and talking to customers and fixing the trailers and all those things that small independents do. And as we grow, we become hopefully a little more organized and efficient. And I didn't have much direction as a small independent rising up with this, but as we move forward, there's things in place that have us behave a little bit more like a structured shop, and I can only imagine what things are going to look like in the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. So it's pretty exciting for me.
I would think that the direction that you had when you began and how it went was nothing but up. I mean, everybody knows the reputation that you built in the Airstream community and the success of your shops and the growth and the reliability. And so that little notebook you talked about might be in a museum one day.
Oh, could be.
I actually kept the copies.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
Segueing from selling the businesses, what am I going to do going forward? Of course, we're still heavily involved in our Mac locations and expanding. Pretty excited about that. But now that I'm semi-retired, still very involved in the day-to-day, take calls each and every day, and do visit the locations often. Well, I have some free time, so something that's been on my heart for a couple of years is a co-op, is what we call the Rivet Collective. It's there's a lot of great little shops sprinkled across the country. Maybe guys that just they just work away and don't necessarily have the marketing arm to say who they are and where they are and what they do. It's more word of mouth. It sure would be nice to help these guys and gals grow their businesses, maybe not have to reinvent the wheel that's been done so many times before in other shops, and kind of meet them where they are. If they're a small cabinet shop, if they just do axles and brakes and tires and suspension, maybe they do battery upgrades and solar, maybe they just specialize in small areas. Other shops specialize in whole trailer. They do the whole thing, the full gamut, like a dealership would, much like what we do at Vinnie's. So this is not about me. This is my way of giving back. It is more about, hey, this is what I've learned in the journey in the last 20 years. And maybe collectively, well, I know we're stronger together, right? So let's create a co-op in a safe and respected way. It's not about stealing ideas or trying to grab your market share. It really is just a way for us to raise the bar within all the independents, come around each other, help each other, and grow.
Well, you're right.
Think,
I mean, what you're saying there makes sense for so many reasons, but independent shops that work on Airstream trailers all over the country, independent that word can be used for lots of different ways, but in a way they're doing business and offering a service that the other alternative is taking your Airstream to an Airstream dealer.
Correct. Yeah. And this way, thinking about the customer is the focus. So part of my background is with Mercedes-Benz. We had what they called a Group 20. And what that was is a group of 20 of the somewhat best Mercedes dealerships in our market area, say like the Western region or the East Coast or the Midwest. And these guys, it gave them a place to meet for the weekend where we can exchange best practices. Maybe one of the dealers is struggling in CSI, profitability, possibly trying to hire technicians, the struggles they have on the front end with their service advisors. And it allowed us all to hear their struggles or their wins, and we could all glean a little bit off of that. Now, of course, we went really deep into financial statements and all kinds of stuff to help them be profitable. So by having that in the co-op, and I'm not saying we're going to go that deep with our independents, see, Airstream has that with their dealers and their network, and that allows them to take direction right from the mothership. And that's great. I mean, the dealers need that. We need the dealers. This whole idea is not intended to hurt or replace the dealers. We need them. They sell the trailers, they provide the warranty, and we're here to help with repairs after the sales.
I know you mentioned Group 20 right there, and that rung a bell to me. We called it 20 Group, but I worked in the marine industry back in the late 90s and early 2000s, and the dealership that I worked for was part of what they called a 20 Group of dealers. So that I'm familiar with that concept, and that is like-minded or similar branded businesses that are all helping each other for the better.
Right.
And that's a great thing. Yeah,
it really is, and it gives the independents kind of a little bit of conduit. So as we assemble and we seek these guys out, they find us, and we start to organize, and then they have an outlet. Hey, we're struggling with this, or here's a best practice. Have you ever guys thought of doing that? And some will and some won't. Some are small, some are larger, shops. And we really thought, man, there's a need for this, rather than maybe one independent calling me and saying, hey, Vinnie, I just got a question. I know you guys are in a couple different locations. We're thinking of expanding. How did you do it? And maybe not every independent owner would be open to that kind of discussion. But in a collaboration like this, where we have a safe place to talk, maybe the guy that's holding back a little bit is going to glean a little information from that conversation that we're going to share between two independents. Maybe then you take it to the next level and say, hey, where are you buying your parts? Well, maybe they're buying on Amazon, or who knows, Uncle Buck's RV parts. And they're just paying so much for the part. But if together we're stronger, and we can go to a supplier that maybe we're all using individually, maybe those synergies could be shared amongst everybody. And I have a little stronger voice to say, hey, if you want this volume of business from all of us, maybe we can drop the price of this part and pass that savings on to the client. maybe if there's a warranty problem with that component, they're going to say, hey, with your group, no problem. We'll just take care of it, rather than, hold the guy out and the customer's going to suffer in the end because they're going to have to pay for the part, or the shop's going to eat the part. So it just gives us some tools as a group collectively.
I think it's a fantastic idea, and I'm sure you didn't just come up with this overnight. So has this been in the works for a while now?
I've probably been thinking about this for the last 2 years. Like, what am I going to do?
Right.
After all the dust settles, I don't see this as a money-making opportunity for me. Quite honestly, I'm not sure how to monetize it yet, other than something, maybe some buy-in for the shops and possibly cover some of our admin costs, those types of things. But this isn't some scam that I'm working to get rich on.
I would say that what everyone in the Airstream world knows about you and your work ethic and your philosophies, quality of everything you do, it seems obvious to me, and I would hope to everybody else, that your reason for doing this is not monetary. It's to help push the needle even better for the reliability and the enjoyment of the Airstream community as a whole.
Right. It's a way of giving back. I'm not sure, if there's a hand raiser from somebody else that wants to take the reins, I will love to have them come by my side. But I think this is probably my role at this point, and I've got a great team around me that shares the same vision and passion to get it done. We recently had a rally in California, and I shared this idea with about 200 people. And I love to talk in front of people because you get to see, you can almost feel what they're feeling when you're telling them about it. And they were just lighting up and like, wow. So it's an alternative to the dealers, again, we want people to go to the dealer, and I want the dealers to be successful. But there's a lot of work out there. There's some emerging new independents coming on board. And if we can help them be their best, that would be, that's the takeaway right there. But can you imagine a list of independents that a client can go to on a website and say, look, we're traveling through the Carolinas, and, we've got a problem. I'm going to go to the Rivet Collective website and see who's available, and are these guys decent? Are they vetted? There's some criteria that we're going to expect them to provide. And, maybe they're listed, but they're not yet rated because they don't have the training, or they, maybe they're just mobile. Maybe they can't do an axle change, in the RV park, something like that. So we'll spell that out so that when they're looking for a service provider, these are good people with good business practices recognized in their state. They've got great reviews. Maybe they have a big shop where they do whole trailer. Maybe they just specialize in, solar or add-ons and upgrades, whatever it is. Maybe they build cabinets. So that wouldn't be the place that you'd go in with an emergency brake repair, but you'll be in control. You'll know, you'll have their number. Maybe they list an after hours number, and it's right there on the site, and it's vetted and it's reviewed regularly. So this information is the latest that we have to share with them, the end user, the client.
I think that the website is going to sort of be a multifaceted point of contact. On one hand, we've got the shops that are submitting applications. We went through, Vinnie and I, and we looked at a series of questions that were extremely specific for the individual shops. And they want to be quantifiable. Like what are the training that you have? Obviously the links to your Google reviews. What are your specialties? It was a series probably of about 15 questions. And through the website, the shop owners submitted their applications, and we got those to the board. And the idea is that the board is going to have a really quantifiable, very specific way. And that way it's not just like, it's more like math, where you there's an answer. There's an answer, and it's not just subjective. And so I really like that, because then it just becomes, okay, do you meet the standard? Are you doing things the right way? Is this somebody that we can recommend? Are you using best practices? How's your customer service? What are people saying about you? And so on one hand, it's definitely for the shops. And there will be a special section for the shops that will be behind a wall that only they can get to.
And
But
when
it's also for
we're
the
talking
Airstream.
about the shops, we're talking about the independent Airstream repair service facilities that are going to be part of the collective, right?
Correct.
Yeah, gotcha.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. These are so far we have 25
Wow.
shops that have submitted. Some of these are, I will say, as an Airstream owner, a lot of these, I have heard these names for years, and they have fantastic reputations. Some of them are brand new to me. I've never heard of them before. But we have gotten, input from others that, oh yeah, this is a much smaller shop, but they don't have any marketing, and they don't even have any social media presence.
And are you going to limit the number of dealers in the collective or no?
I don't think
Vinnie.
that would limit the number of dealers in the collective, but I'll say it this way: not everybody who has repaired an Airstream is going to be part of it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I would like to see them strive for it.
Because you're going to have benchmarks of certain standards that they have to meet in order to be part of the collective. And
right.
Yeah,
and,
that's a great thing.
Maybe some tenure, maybe the shop size, maybe, what their projections are. Those things will help us identify where they fit in the whole scheme of things. Again, there's a board. So what I want to make sure that people are hearing is that this is not the Vinnie's Club, that it has nothing to do with me personally, either inviting them or quantifying what, do I like them? Are they worthy? Those are all things they're going to show up, and they're going to prove to us, because in the end, like we started with that campfire story, this is what's going to be shared around the group. If somebody's having a bad experience with a shop that maybe isn't above board, we need to know about that. And is there a way to change that behavior? Because obviously we want these guys to be successful. Is it a training issue? Is it just a prevailing attitude of the shop that maybe they won't share the same values and see, the benefits of this type of thing? Then, that's okay. You don't have to be part of this to be successful. It just gives them a tool, and it gives the client some confidence, when they're making that decision to spend, $5,000-$10,000 on something. Is this guy, you've heard the horror stories about maybe some guys that'll do, refurbish old trailers, and they'll say, give us $50,000 up front and we'll get you done by the end of the year. And that's like, wow, have you heard about this guy? No, but I looked at his yard and he has some old Airstreams. All right, well, write him the check because I want to get this done. And then poof, he's gone. Your money's gone.
Yeah. Wow.
So those are the things that maybe we can help vet, and those guys aren't going to make it to the co-op.
Yeah.
So let me interject here for just a minute, because I'm on the slower end of the spectrum when it comes to understanding everything that we're talking about right now. So I'm going to pretend to be that listener as well. So if I'm listening to this podcast and I'm hearing what you're saying about the independent repair shops and owner resources and all that kind of stuff, if I'm a shop owner and I'm hearing this, what does this mean for me? Does this mean I need to go to a website? And if so, what is that website? And then what is the first steps I need to take to get into the questionnaire or to see if I can become part of the collective?
They need to own a rivet gun first.
Okay. And know how to use it, right?
Yeah, that's the prerequisite number one.
Well, because we're talking about all this, but what is the step a shop owner who's listening needs to go, oh, well, this sounds great. Now, how do I do that?
Yeah, good job. Good question, Gina.
I would say that, so when we set up the website, it's therivetcollective.com, and it tells what the Rivet Collective is. It talks about our mission and vision, and there's a link. And when you click the link, it takes you directly to a form where you can fill out all of your information. And that is immediately uploaded to a Google Drive, and then that is distributed to our board.
Okay.
And so everything is kept in one place.
Okay, and we haven't talked much about the board, but we've mentioned it. So there is, I think you said a 5-member board or 6-member board. Is that right?
Yeah, there's a
5-member board.
Okay.
5-member board, and it's a group of individuals that were specifically picked with different backgrounds, business owners. It's just a really neat group, and it's a great sounding board for all of us to make sure that what we're doing is the right path forward. We will have governing documents. All of these things are soon to be in place, or certainly when I present this by Minot, we're going to have a lot of these small details that are still kind of not completely resolved. That will be done. We'll be up, running, and ready. We'll have our group. And more and more guys will be coming on, guys and gals will be coming on to show us how they would like to be part of this. Now, one thing that we didn't talk about yet, and I'll have Claire jump on this, is our Facebook group, and really what that's about, and how different and unique the Rivet Collective really is, and why we did it.
I would say that the biggest thing about that Facebook group, I initially, when it was started back in April. I was actually at sort of the introductory Camp Nashville with Dendy Jarrett and some other people. And yeah, it really was cool. It was a great weekend. And we had decided that, let's go ahead and launch the Facebook page for the Rivet Collective first. Let's generate a little bit of buzz so that people know what is coming, and we can let people know the plans. And so we launched it, and we had like 1,200 people that we had to vet within 48 hours. And so definitely there was some interest there. We all were former admins in Airstream Addicts, and Airstream Addicts has 87,000 members. It's like herding cats.
Yeah.
It's just an absolutely enormous group. And so we wanted something very different and very curated. One of the biggest things that we heard, the biggest complaints that we heard in Airstream Addicts is that sort of the content was all over the place. And we had a lot of shop owners that would show their work, but they weren't necessarily chiming in to help answer questions. And so that was one of the things that we really wanted with the Rivet Collective. We wanted shop owners to be able to have a space where they were marketing in a very strategic way, not just throwing posts up one after another so that people were just, oh, here's 5 posts in a row and people are just glossing over them. Let's engage and build relationships. That's one of Vinnie's key cornerstones. Yep. If you do nothing else, you do quality work and you build relationships. And that is one of the things that we want with the Rivet Collective. We want the shop owners to be there, be present, and when members of the Rivet Collective, our owners, are asking questions, chime in and give these concrete answers, not just what somebody thinks should be done. We have an extremely respectful group. There's no hot takes on anything. Everybody is treating each other with such respect and encouragement, and people are jumping in and answering questions. And we've got some people with some really great long-time experience in that group, and that's very encouraging.
In a situation like this, because what you're talking about is you've got maybe some newbie shops coming in, you've got those OG shops, if you want to call them, but in that situation and having the Rivet Collective for these independent shops, we talked about buying power a few minutes ago. Vinnie mentioned that, but, or purchasing power, I should say, but what else does the collective offer for these owners or these shops in general?
Well, I'll take that one. That's an easy one. Just the ability to ask a question rather than spend 10 hours diagnosing it and potentially charging a customer as you find your way and learn this new technology, so that next time you can charge 2 hours.
Right.
I mean, when I first started this in 2011, trailers were a lot simpler. And I had to do a lot of pioneering because I couldn't call Airstream. There was no support for the independent. And so guess who ate that 8 hours as I figured out, how this or that was done. Because I'm not going to charge the customer. That wouldn't seem right. So it might be that a shop is just following along on our Facebook page and some very smart individual answers the question succinctly. And they're like, oh, dang it. Had I only known that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Right.
Now, they're probably not going to chime in and say, great, thank you.
Yeah.
But they're going to make a little note for sure.
Well, that sounds like the price of admission right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess to look at it big picture wise, and I think anybody that's fairly astute online and has been around the block a little bit knows you can get all kinds of information online, whether it's accurate or not, whether it's good information or bad.
Absolutely.
Whether it's knowledgeable information or amateur. You have to mentally try to filter through and determine what you believe. And what I'm hearing with the Rivet Collective, especially on the independent shop owner side, whether it's through the website and your vetting program or whether it's through the Facebook group, the conversation is going to be among Airstream owners and Airstream shop owners that all have the knowledge base at the quality level that meets Vinnie's standards and the board standards. And that is awesome. That is something that in the Airstream space right now has not been there. It's fallen on the owner's shoulders to try to do all the vetting of information accuracy, quality of work, reputation, reliability, timing, turnaround, pricing, all of that kind of stuff. You're giving the Airstream owners a curated selection of independent shops and independent shop owner advice that is based on the years of knowledge and the criteria that you want these shop owners to meet in order to provide this level of service to Airstream owners. That's over the top awesome, I think.
Right. You remember when JD Powers came out? I'm dating myself, but I was in the car industry for years. And it really did challenge the car companies to do better.
Yeah.
And you saw really crappy car companies like Jaguar. It's a beautiful car, but it was plagued with problems. Guess what? They made it to JD Power #1 in problems per 100 a couple of times. And that takes a lot of focus from the company. I mean, they can produce a great product if everybody focuses on the client and the end user and what the expectation is. So, not every car company was excited about it, but guess what? They came along because they had to.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that something like this produces a desire for a good independent shop to do better and challenge themselves. And we talked about the forward facing side of it, but the behind the scenes side of it, when we can produce a document, a wiring diagram, show them, what the CAN bus layout is and how it interfaces with C-Zone. And here, if you do this and this, you can bypass the the C zone, so that at least you can work your air conditioner in the heat of summer Texas while you're waiting for a new C zone board. So these workarounds exist, and this is the kind of information they can go to the backside of the website and they can say, look, what do I do here? How do I give the client a better experience today so we can order the part, they can get through the next couple of weeks in this heat wave.
Yeah.
Otherwise they'd say, sorry, can't help you. I don't know what to do. Maybe take it to the dealer, or worse yet, that can't be solved any other way, because that's all they know.
Yeah.
I mean, that alone, Vinny, sounds like a great support system or mentoring or something with the shop owners. But what I'm hearing you say at the same time is how much this is going to benefit the Airstream owner.
Absolutely, it will.
Yeah, not just the shop owners, but Airstream owners in general are going to benefit from this collective.
What?
And isn't that the goal?
That is the goal. I like that.
What are we doing here if it's not for the end user?
Mm-hmm.
Right. No,
sure.
I like to hear that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming on the website that's how the Airstream owner would find a map or a list of people, because these are going to be all over the country, right? The shop owners.
They are all over the country, and I think that's one of the really unique pieces of this. And I come back to the marketing equation of it. So many of these small shops are really doing excellent work, and there may only be a handful of people in each one of these shops. And oftentimes, small shops or nonprofits, everybody's wearing a different hat, and sometimes they're wearing hats that don't fit. So what can we do to help increase the exposure for these shops that are really doing a fantastic job, but just don't have sort of the forward-facing marketing to help people know that they're out there? And so it's twofold. They will be on the website. People can find them. They can find out what their specialty is. But also through the Facebook group, we can do some targeted advertising. We've got a demographic that is curated.
Mm-hmm.
And so these small shops are actually being able to, hit their target market, and we can show people what they're doing and do marketing through both through newsletters and through the Facebook page as well.
So I'm going to ask a tough question. I'm a hard-hitting podcast host.
Uh-oh.
This is a tough question.
Ask it, baby.
All right, here it comes. So the Rivet Collective is doing great. You got lots of independent shops. Everybody knows about it. I'm talking flash forward here, okay? So everything's great. And you got two shops that are doing excellent work. They meet all the criteria. They're part of the collective. They've got great reputations. But then a shot across the bow has happened. And all of a sudden, you've got one shop that's cutting in on another shop's customer, or some kind of bad blood, something that's happening that's causing these two shops that are part of the collective to go at odds with one another. What happens then?
Yeah, that's a good question. And of course, that's going to happen. I'll get to that right after I'm a half glass full guy.
Yeah, I can tell.
So the flip side of that is when a client brings their rig to shop A and he calls shop B because they mentioned their name and says, hey man, this we found this loose and it was leaking, and I'm just going to tighten it up and clean it up a little bit, and I figured out what was happening. You guys missed a seal or something, and he says, well, I'm just going to take care of it for you. We're going to get the customer done. We're not going to make a fuss out of it. When we get there, which we will, it will be after we've sorted out these other things, because sometimes life can be like high school.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And people can act silly. And I think, we'll talk through some of those scenarios. What I'd like to do is meet with these guys once a month. They're going to pay reasonable dues for us to put this in, to provide this information, to have this kind of access, so that with that, they have a little buy-in, because I'm also paying for something. So they're going to be part of that meeting. And we're going to talk about, it'd probably be an hour long. It might be a meeting like, a Zoom meeting or something where we can just kind of air out some of those problems. Hey, this shop charged $5,000 to do a roof reseal. Well, I'm not going to get into anybody's business on what they charge, but I'm gonna set the expectation that, if you clean the roof and you do everything correctly, you're probably going to be up there for about 6 hours. So maybe let's look at your shop rate and multiply that by what it should take. And if you guys are doing something different that the rest of us can benefit, the client can benefit, then share what you're doing.
Yeah.
But if it's just gouging, then that happens out there. And again, there's not going to be any price fixing, but we're going to have a gentleman's conversation about it, because again, these are folks that I'm going to sit around the campfire with.
Yeah.
Right.
In many cases, they're my friends.
Well, and
they'll
that's
be their friends too.
Yeah, and that's great. I mean, I hope and the vision of the future for everybody collectively having the same goal and working with the same kind of overall mindset of focusing on the customer. I think most any good quality independent shop's going to have that in mind. I guess it's going to, my thought is the customer's going to get trapped in the middle because shop A and shop B for some reason are at odds with one another, and they're hearing conflicting information, or no, he's not telling you the truth, I'm telling you the truth, those kind of things. And hopefully that will not happen inside the Rivet Collective if everybody has the same overall mindset of what the end goal is.
Yeah, no, it's a great comment. And maybe there's a mission statement that they need to sign off on. And, we're all going to play well in the best interest of the customer.
Yeah. The final word of Vinnie.
Yes.
Yes. I'm just kidding.
I think one of the things that Vinnie has said that I've heard him say for about 3 years is this is a big sandbox. I mean, Airstream actually, it's a small market in the overall RV industry, but there's plenty of work for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though I do marketing for Vinnie, my role in the Rivet Collective is also to help market and support these independent shops. The reason that I can do that is because my bosses have signed off on the idea that this is a big sandbox and there's enough work for all of us, and that the people that are doing it right are going to rise to the top.
Yeah. And not only that, is that the objective of using your Airstream is to travel and be away from your local home area, and you want to have the same kind of reliability of working with a shop somewhere else in the country as you would your local favorite independent shop that's nearby your home and who you've built a strong relationship with.
Well, absolutely. I mean, think about us being on the road, and even with our truck or whatever, we have a flat tire, we're looking for the best place to go and be taken care of. And the same thing with the Airstream. I mean, I think it's fabulous that you guys are going to have this on a website that we can log in and look and say, okay, there's one, it might be 100 miles away, but it's not 1,000 miles away, to get help if we need it.
Or where I see that being a huge asset is that, let's say that there is an RV repair center 50 miles away, but then there's a Rivet Collective qualified dealer 100 miles away. I would do the 100 mile.
Of course I would. Yeah.
If I
to know that they're vetted, and
if I couldn't
I could rely on them.
Yeah, I mean, depend the example you gave, Vinny, of a cabinet guy, and you don't want to have him do your axles or whatever. That makes sense, But if I knew that within striking distance was a independent shop inside the Rivet Collective, I would choose that if I had to drive a little bit more versus the unknown of somebody else. And I mean, I know there's it's escaped me, Vinny, but the overall RV industry tech association, what is that? The
RVIA.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, so there's criteria in place for RV technicians working for other dealerships that meet a certain standard of knowledge and quality of work. But what you're talking about is honing it in even tighter to have shops that have got the quality of craftsmanship and knowledge of service technician within the Airstream space, the brand, the Airstream brand, and making sure that everybody that works at those dealerships, those independent shops, are the ones that are part of the Rivet Collective?
Well, here's what I know. I know that whenever we started Airstreaming back in 2017, and we were, kind of keeping our eyes, we were new, keeping our eyes open for everything Airstream, right? And what I know is that if I had a question about anything Airstream and I was talking to some other Airstreamer or, someone nearby at a campfire or whatever, just walking through the grounds, then I know that they would say, well, you got to take it to Vinnie.
Yeah.
You got to go to Vinnie.
Gotta go to Vinnie.
You got to go to Vinnie. You got to let Vinnie work on it. So here's what I know.
Yeah.
If Vinnie says it's going to be awesome, it's going to be awesome.
You're exactly right.
We just got to give him time to put it together, and then we're all going to benefit from it.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that.
I agree. Completely.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. And, there might be some site surveys that I can go out and actually see their shop. That's would be interesting for me as well. And, it might be something that I see that we should share that for the best practices for the other shops. Could be as simple as the way the customer comes in and meet and greet and make sure they get all the information recorded and exchange information so nothing gets lost. And just basic things like you can be the greatest tech, but your processes are all screwed up. And in the end, the customer doesn't get the call back and kind of feels a little funny and or the price doesn't match what the discussion was, and those kinds of things that we can share. Hey, this is what we do, or this is what he does, and it's really working out. I mean, technology is changing so rapidly that these little applications are popping up, and it might just be the answer for a small shop or a bigger shop. So, yeah, all these things. So we're pretty excited about it, and we hope that more folks find the Rivet Collective and they choose to come to the site and dabble around. We hope that the shops, now we do require them to pop in as their own name, not their shop name. We don't want any predatory type, things affecting the way the customer feels. The whole concept is that, Vinnie pops in or Andy or anybody pops on and says, I run a shop in wherever, and here's what we do. And you might look here and there, and it's a nice exchange, and it didn't feel threatening. And they answered the question. Now, maybe the customer can't actually fix it, but now they have a direction and an understanding of what needs to be done. And they're building a relationship with this nice guy, Andy, who kind of answered their question. And that's what it's all about. It's about relationship and trust.
I agree.
Yeah.
I do agree.
And we've been talking a lot about the independent shop side and the benefit of the Rivet Collective, but I feel pretty confident that if an Airstream owner is listening to this podcast and they understand the ultimate goal of why this is being put together and what the benefit to the owner is going to be, what I've been thinking about as we've been talking about this is kind of, I wouldn't call it high level, but like we're having this conversation kind of in a way that is assuming that the average Airstream owner, whether they've owned their rig for multiple years or whether they're brand new to the brand, maybe even still in warranty with their trailer, that they kind of understand how the state of the Airstream space is with regard to service and what their warranty is, what they expect out of their warranty coverage. Then when a rig is out of warranty, what their options are for repairs or modifications or upgrades, things like that. Everybody's expecting top quality service. And the standards are so high in everything nowadays. It's the iPhone. Everybody, since the iPhone came out, everybody thinks that everything should work as good as the iPhone. And the reliability of it and just the quality of the material, everything. And I'm just kind of rambling right now, but at the same time, it's like that's a level of expectation that's kind of already built into people that are buying quality products, and you've got to provide that same level of service whenever you take care of them. And I think that's what you're doing by having these dealers meet the criteria that you have established and your board has established
and then that way you have the owner has the confidence in knowing that they're making the right choice when they pick one of these independent shops.
Yep, that's well said. My mom used to say, "You got 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Yeah.
Do more listening." That's why you have the 2 ears. So it often the customer is giving you all the clues at the time of write-up or when they reach out to you originally. Listen to what they're saying. And really, it's not that hard to really please somebody in this industry. Listen, do what they ask them to do it for a fair price, and fix it right the first time. So, and maybe smile and make some eye contact and shake their hand. And, if at the time they call in, say, "We're so excited, we just had grandkids," maybe remember that.
Yeah.
We have a little app for that. There's an app for everything, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Right.
For sure.
grandkids. It's right in our app at the time of write-up. Why not just capture a little bit of information, make that connection that first time, that first impression. So when they drive away, they say, "Wow, I think they were really paying attention." And then they kind of have an expectation of the trailer's going to get fixed right the first time. And then it does. And they can't stop telling people about that.
Yeah.
And it's a sad statement in this, today where service kind of does suck everywhere, like service experiences. But when somebody has a great experience and something that they care about, and they care about their Airstream, and they know that the people that are working on it also use Airstreams and they really like it, they don't like, "Oh, an Airstream, God, I hate working on these things. I don't want that guy working on my trailer." I want somebody that really listened and really thinks they're cool like I do, and it just kind of supports each other. And I think that's the future, and it's not very hard to get there.
That's awesome.
Well, sometimes the service doesn't always have to be perfect, but if the relationship building is, it makes the service that much better.
Yeah, that's true.
Good point. Everybody will make a mistake, and it's through that
Right.
relationship that you can get some redemption.
Exactly.
People
Exactly.
will forgive, and just do the right thing.
Right.
Do the right thing after whatever may have happened, and show them that
Yes.
we can make this right.
Yes.
So you mentioned Minot earlier as far as a timeline of like a goal of having things really solidified. Is there anything else on the timeline between, we're recording this here in the spring of 2026, Minot's August. So what's happening from a launch standpoint, or, the Facebook page is already active and going. What's your next steps? What's going to happen next for the Rivet Collective?
Just pure stress. Yeah, it'll all come together. These things always do, but we're all leaning on each other, and there's a few big things that have to happen, and the clock is ticking. So I think the next steps for us are, of course, to finish up with the attorney to make sure that everything is done correctly to protect us and our independent shops. And we're going to go forward with a pilot program, which is essentially a smaller group of hand raisers that would be willing to kind of take this leap with us in a smaller bite, so that we can learn from each other, kind of see where some of the pitfalls might be, explore those, repair those, and then start to launch this thing in a larger way. So kind of a small step to kick it off, and then let's go.
I like that idea, Vinnie.
Yeah, and it just shows that you're building it the right way, building a foundation that's going to definitely be there for the future.
Well, it's not just that. He surrounded himself with a team of people who are doing that. I like it.
We really have one opportunity to make a first impression, and I think that's important. Something like this has to be kicked off correctly.
Any final words, Claire?
I do think, yeah, I do, because I think that there's so much going on behind the scenes. Vinnie has some attorneys that are working to structure this, to get it into the proper structure and the proper legal structure that we need to be able to pull off the vision. I'm working behind the scenes. I had told Vinny from the get-go that one of my moonshot goals in all of this, there is a difference between having a job and having an actual craft that you want to work at. And I think that sometimes what we see in these independent shops, guys like Vinny, they want to work with their hands. They've got a lot of Mike Rowe in them, and they want to build something. They want to create something. They want to create a life where they can make a good living doing the thing that they have been equipped to do and gifted to do. It's not a job. And so what can keep the turnover down? And I think that in our culture, one of the things that we see is this rapid turnover because people are looking for a paycheck and they're also not getting benefits. And so my moonshot goal in all of this, and I have been reaching out to, and I've got a meeting set up for next week, is how can we structure the co-op in such a way that healthcare can be affordable for some of these small business owners?
Oh, wow.
How can these this is important to me because this is something that is sorely lacking. Healthcare is extraordinarily expensive for independent business owners, for techs, and to be able to offer it to them. How can we do this? How can we offer a benefits package where maybe that there's an option for a 401k so people can start saving for their future? We need to be able to, as independent shops, to be able to attract the best of the best and to keep the best of the best.
Yeah.
So that it's not just a job, it is a career. It's a craft that they can work at and they can make a life and make a good living and support their families.
Yeah.
That means something to me, and it's so important.
That is huge, Claire. And we're talking about this from the benefit of obviously the techs working for the independent shops. But it probably should go without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway, is that the benefit of that to stop the turnover is to the Airstream owner. Because then,
yes.
Because what happened, I mean, think about this. A shop that's got 2 techs and one of them is on the fence about being able to continue because they need a paycheck and they need some benefits. But that's the guy that's the next Vinny. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that guy might leave the profession and go change careers because he needed some health insurance, but he would be the next Vinny in the Airstream space. And if he has access to healthcare, good benefits, those kind of things, he's not going to leave that independent shop. He's going to get years of service, and that's going to be a benefit to the Airstream owner because when you roll in to need work, you've got somebody that is beyond, experienced doing that work. He's been
and he's there year after year.
Yeah, and it's a career. Yeah, you're exactly right. So that is a huge goal to hit.
Well, and it's also something that's very hard for independent small businesses to do because you need numbers for that. And it sounds like this co-op is going to provide those numbers.
So I got a question. So if Gina and I are full-time RVers, and so if we travel around to all the independent Rivet Collective shops and we just sweep the floor and take out the trash, can we get us some of that health insurance?
You know what? I am actually asking the most off the wall questions. I don't even typically know that there's a box that I'm supposed to be working in.
Yeah.
And so I am launching questions at these business advisors and the financial advisors, and they're coming back to me with, wow, you're thinking really outside the box here. Let's see how we can make this happen. And I love that answer. How can we make this happen? How does Vinny have to have this structured so that we can legally do this?
That's awesome.
And what does that look like?
That's great. That's a big point to wrap up on, and just say that between all the other benefits we talked about, plus you add in that, you guys are doing the right thing with bringing the Rivet Collective to the Airstream community for sure. That's great.
So, Vinny, I have a question for you. Many years ago, when you first started into Airstreaming, did you ever imagine that you would be at this place right now in your life?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was just my retirement gig after Mercedes. And I thought, I'll just fix a few trailers, make a few people happy, and we'll do some camping. And my wife just shakes her head at me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, congratulations. You have created an amazing space around you.
absolutely.
You know, really, it's in closing, it's the Airstream group. They're amazing people. They're interesting. Their backgrounds are so diverse. I mean, they're post working, post family. They're doing all their bucket list stuff. It's fun to hear their stories and be part of their lives, you know, even if we're a tiny piece of it, keeping the Airstream going.
Yeah.
It really has been equally as rewarding for me personally to meet these people that I would have otherwise not met. And Airstream's just a conduit that just brought a lot of cool people together. So I think we're all pretty fortunate.
Absolutely.
I have to
I
agree.
appreciate what you guys did here too.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you.
Oh, you're very welcome. We love these kind of chats, and the main goal of our podcast has always been to chat with people about how their lives have changed for the better by adding an Airstream to it. And that's, I think, the purpose of Gina's question to you there was that, you know, you added an Airstream to your life, and then look how it's changed. And I'm sure it was an awesome life prior, but it's just you.
And you're talking about over 20 years now, right? Vinny, how long's it been?
Yeah, I started this in 2008.
Yeah,
Okay.
so close.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're getting there.
Yep, that's awesome.
Wow.
Again, we appreciate what you guys are doing here and helping spread this
Yeah.
dream, this idea, this concept that we have to the community.
You're
And
welcome.
we just hope that maybe you can put a QR code or something. They find an easy path to join the collective and grow it. And again, we're stronger together, even on the customer side. So we'll do our part to get the text together. And if folks can tell a friend, that would be very, very helpful.
Absolutely. Well, we'll put a link in the description of this episode and social media posts and stuff for it, and we'll get this one out as soon as possible so that everybody has a good chance to, if they haven't already learned about it, know about it, and be ready to see you at Minot for the International Rally. I guess we'll.
So are you going to be in the vendor booth? Is that where you're going to be?
We will. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Very
and so
cool.
people can come up and talk to you, both shop owners and just Airstream owners,
Everybody.
right?
We welcome them all.
Yeah.
And then you got plenty of Sharpies for the autographs and stuff, right?
Yeah. When's the autograph session?
Yeah.
That won't be necessary.
You got the headshots and the
Yeah.
and the autograph. Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, think about that. It could be $5 for a headshot, $10 for an autograph.
Just killing me.
And if
Good
you
thing
got,
this is not a video, I'd be blushing.
if you have a technical question, it's $100.
Yeah. Oh, there you
Think
go.
about that, right?
Yeah, there you go. I like that. And then you take that money and you just add it into the collective to benefit everybody.
If that's
Hear
what you
that,
want to do
Claire?
with it.
Chris might be my next marketing guy.
Oh,
Well-
Claire, I don't think you should be shaking in your boots at all, Claire.
No.
No.
That was the extent of my creativity. But
It has been a true honor,
Absolutely.
Vinny and Claire both.
Thank you.
We have really appreciated you taking the time today. And listener, we hope that this podcast has inspired you to get out there and get some work done on your rig, right?
yeah, anything.
Solar upgrades,
Whatever.
new refrigerator, AC units,
New refrigerator.
skylights.
Everything.
Yeah.
Well, we
Lifts. We just got a lift.
any and all.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
We
The trailer got a lift. Now I need one.
Vinny, Claire, thank you again, and we can't wait to see you in person down the road as soon as possible.
We'll see you down the road.
And
Thanks so much, guys.
you're
Down the
welcome.
road.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much. See ya.
Wow, can you believe that conversation just happened on our podcast, Gina?
I know. That was very special, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
And listener, you can check out the rivetcollective.com for more information.
That's right. Want to give a big shout out and thank you again to our friends Kevin and Deborah from No Locks Modifications and Solutions for sponsoring this episode.
Yes, thank you so much.
Be sure to check them out at nolox.shop.
That's NOLOX.shop.
Yeah, SHOP.
Shop. NoLocks.shop.
All right, listener, this was a long episode, but it was a big one. We sure hope you enjoyed it. Can't wait to see you. Well, we won't see you. Can't wait for you to hear us on another episode soon.
Yeah, we'll see you down the road.
We've come a long way, and I only say goodbye because, we never say goodbye on a caravan, but we'll be seeing you down the road.